Hi YouTube, this is Roland here, otherwise known as Lumario on YouTube. Ha! But yeah, I'm making a 200 subscriber special, and I figured the best way I can do that is probably give you guys a room tour. So thanks again for 200 subs, big thumbs up. I mean, my YouTube account's been active for 6 or 5 years, and for a period of time I took a hiatus from uploading quite some time ago. But yeah, I figured, for new and old subs alike, I'd make a room tour. I'll go and address some more recent issues at the end of this video, but I just want to mainly focus on pretty much showing you the aspects of what I used to record and all that sort of thing first. So my room's actually a bit of a mess, contrary to popular belief. I used to be a computer technician a few years ago, actually, so yeah, there's that. So yeah, got to clean some of that up. I think the only thing I care about here at the moment actually is the Super Saiyan Vegito figure that I have at the moment. I got that from the Salvation Army when I worked at the Salvation Army. That was actually kind of cool. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is obviously my computer desk and all the equipment on it. I'll go into detail in a sec. This is my green screen. It's actually just green fabric, believe it or not. So very cheap, $3 or $6 Australian, I believe I got per meter. So very, very cheap. It's actually hanging on the back of my wardrobe. There's the lighting for it, 1500 watt lumens light. It reflects off, my wall, which is white, and there's some glass. There's a glass fixture there, so there's that too. So that all helps pretty much even out the lighting for the green screen. So I guess I'm fortunate to have white walls. It's actually held into place by a 24-port D-Link switch of all things, which is hilarious. But I think it's 10-100 switch anyway, so it's not really that important to me. And old protein powder, lol. But yeah, I actually study networking at TAFE, which is why I have so much computer stuff. And as I mentioned before, I used to be a computer technician. So TAFE being Australia's version of college, pretty much, for those of you wondering. It's actually also held in place by a 19-inch monitor. So there's that too. I only need to use that to service other people's computers, and I set it up on a desk in another room in my house. So yeah. And obviously there's some green fabric again on my chair to make just me appear in the frame as opposed to any of my furniture. So yeah. So now I'm going to sit down and yeah. This, as you can see, are the two computer screens in front of you. They are Samsung 244 3BWs. I actually used to have 3 of them at one stage, but then one of them decided to die, which annoyed me. How I came to have 3 of them, I actually used to volunteer at the Salvation Army, and originally I had one from a while ago, and then someone donated 2 of these, and then I got them for like half price. So, I got them for like $20 Australian. Pretty cheap, but hey, it was worth it. So for a period of time, I had 3 of these, which is cool, and I miss actually having 3 of them. It's kind of cool because I could game across all 3 of them on my computer. But yeah, so that's a pretty much backstory to those monitors. They're actually mounted on a VESA mounted pole, which is attached to my desk. I could do the cabling a little bit better. I'm going to probably redo it at some stage, but yeah, lazy man's cable job, lol. But yeah, it saves a lot of space for them being on the VESA pole. Here I obviously have my 3DS capture card. As you can see, it's mounted on a stand, and there's on my other 2 3DSs. My 3DS and capture card in particular, obviously it's the most valuable 3DS I have at the moment because it has a capture card in it. It's pink though, as you can see. Pink! Yes, pink! It could have been red. I was lending a friend a red 3DS at the time, and for I think Pokemon X and Y, and I was like, "Oh, do you still need it?" She's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I couldn't, leave a hard drive our 3DS to play games, so I decided, okay, I'm impatient, I want a capture card, so I went and got a second-hand pink 3DS and sent it off to Katsukity for a capture card. So I can live with the fact that it's pink. It's annoyed me from time to time, but obviously, yeah, as I said, for most of the time I just ignore the fact that it's pink and just remember, hey, it's got a capture card in it, which is what I bought it for. So yeah, as you can see, it's in a Perspex case and attached to a GPS stand. So I couldn't find any of the kitty Kira stands or anything like that. So, and from what I know anyway, and from what I've seen, I think this is a better solution because it's more convenient. So yeah, that's attached to the Perspex case that the 3DS is housed in. And if I ever find out the brand name, I'll let you guys know, I guess, on that stand. It's really convenient. It's just a generic one, but if I can find out more details about it, because I think I threw away the boxing, I'll let you guys know. So yeah, obviously it's in a Perspex case, and there's a hole that my brother made a cutout for with a hole saw, I think, for the USB port, the mini USB port, which is really convenient. Now, why did I get it on a standard 3DS, you might ask? Well, I got this in April 2014. At the time, if you want to get a capture card on a standard, or on a 3DS XL rather, you had to get rid of infrared. And of course, that meant, that would have been inconvenient for the fact if I took it to Pokemon tournaments or wanted to use, say, for example, Amiibo, which I do have a couple of up there, but I don't collect them. I just got them from like prizes I won from tournaments and stuff. As you can see, a Greninja and a Splatoon Amiibo. But yeah, you pretty much need infrared for Pokemon tournaments, Amiibo compatibility, Circle Pad Pro. So that's the reasoning for me getting it on a standard 3DS at the time. So yeah, and obviously the other two 3DSs there's Pokemon 3DS and a new 3DS XL in the Mario case. So here I have my Blue Yeti microphone and a pop filter, which I actually just managed to fit on this morning, actually, which is kind of cool. Someone on Twitter was asking me, where's your pop filter? I'm like, I have one, this doesn't fit, where I want to fit without getting in the way of my monitor, because it used to get in the way of my monitor, but now that I found a good position for the microphone on my desk, and I've managed to fit that between the glass sheet and the thickness of the desk itself, I'm very happy I can use it again. Because obviously, what a pop filter does is, if you make P or B sounds with your voice, they're usually pretty harsh on the amount of air pressure required to say or make those sounds, and it filters those out because usually they can distort a microphone recording. So that's the reasoning for a pop filter. Also, admittedly, they also act as a moisture filter to a degree. There's a little bit of moisture that people will produce with their voice from time to time with their saliva, so there's also a unintended benefit, I suppose you could say. But yeah, up there, actually I should say it before, that's a Logitech C920. Very popular webcam used by a lot of streamers and YouTube gamers. The only webcam I think that's slightly better or very similar is the Logitech C930. Some people use that, but it's more of a business-oriented webcam to my knowledge, but it does have a few cool things that it can do that the C920 can't. But for the most part, the C920 is more readily available, and it does a very good job. So if you're ever after a good webcam, the C920 should definitely be one of the considerations you make. So here on my desk is the Logitech G9 keyboard, the Logitech G5 mouse. I have a Turtle Beach Z60 headset. Good headset, although I'm thinking of going wireless. So one wireless headset that really caught my attention was the Logitech G933. And I think the refresh they just recently announced that Computex or PAX or something, I think it was. So definitely wanting to get a pair of those. On there, there's a USB 3 hub and a USB card reader, and obviously my Wii U with a GameCube controller, converter and thing. That cable that's there is for when I want to play my Wii U, obviously, so I just plug it into this monitor. It's using a DVI adapter because this monitor is old to the extent when it doesn't have HDMI, so there's that. There's a few other random bits. Red Bull can, I should probably chuck in the bin, lol. And an audio noise filter for when I want to use a separate audio source, or the USB audio, to be honest, on the 3DS capture card works quite well. It's a Radeon 7870 graphics card, I believe. Yay, yeah, I think it is, MSI. And a 500 gig, Seagate WD Black hard drive for a laptop. The main star of the show is obviously my computer. I've had this case for a while. It's a Cooler Master Half X. The other specs of my computer, I've got a Core i5 4670K overclocked to 4 GHz, 16 gig of 2400 megahertz G-Skill DDR3 RAM. What else do I have? A 128 gig Samsung 830 SSD and a 2 terabyte Seagate SSHD for storage, and I've got 3 WD Black 1 terabyte drives that I'm probably going to raid together and make some form of swap drive for Adobe applications. And the graphics card in there, the all-important thing, of course, is a Gamewood GTX 980 Ti, which I actually just got a few days ago. Well, graphics cards is funny. I've always changed graphics cards quite a bit, but for the most part, I like NVIDIA for graphics cards. I prefer the drivers, I prefer the functionality. So yeah, I'm more of an NVIDIA guy, but if you're an AMD guy, more power to you, I guess. I mean, that could be interpreted a few different ways. But you know, no problem with AMD. It's just that I'm more of an NVIDIA guy myself. I originally had a GTX 970, but when the 4 gig, aka 3.5 gig VRAM issue was well documented, and you know, people got annoyed about that, I returned the GTX 970 to get a GTX 980 non-TI, and just a few days ago, someone in my area was wanting to trade down their GTX 980 Ti or downgrade essentially to a GTX 980, and plus cash, and I couldn't say no to their offer. So yeah, there's that, and that's how I got GTX 980 Ti. So yeah, and yeah, so that concludes. I will make a brief mention actually about some of the more recent events, because if you've come to my channel recently, you've probably seen the you know, the Listify related stuff. So I just did want to make a brief mention of that at the end. Obviously the intent and focus is in the 200 sub special, but I think I need to clarify some things. So this morning I read some comments from trolls. Trolls are everywhere on the internet. Nothing new. And some people seem that seem to think they're not a troll and want to make valid criticisms. They neglect. They try and say that I'm doing this for the fame, or that I'm trying to exploit people, or this and that. And the opposite is entirely true. The one thing they fail to make reference to is the fact that in both videos, I have mentioned the fact that my best friend, killed himself a few years ago. And when I was 7 years old, my dad died, not to suicide, but drowning trying to save me in a beach trip. And, you know, death really hits home. So for them to say to me, oh no, you're just doing this for your own personal cause, or that sort of thing, or your own personal gain, is you know, quite frankly irrelevant. At the end of the day, I know what I stand for, and you really can't change that about me. So at the end of the day, say whatever comment you want. I'll probably, you know, block or ban you from whatever medium you try and contact me on. And I know that I pretty much caught out Phils for that behaviour. It's pretty much consistent with his past behaviour. It speaks for itself. And obviously it is unacceptable that someone should even make a joke about or tell another person on the internet to kill themselves. You know, so really struck a nerve, and every tweet that Phils has made to me since shows how insensitive and dry his humour is, and that he really is a terrible quality human being to actually even joke about suicide. Seriously, or even recommend it to someone. He can try and talk his way out of it, like, you know, oh, I meant egg whites or raw eggs and this sort of thing, but I already proved in the video that can put you at just as much harm and risk. It probably, you know, land you at hospital at the very worst, because salmonella poisoning can be quite serious. And, you know, again, I said to the trolls and stuff, you know, I read some of your comments and think to myself, gee, wow, that guy's pretty uneducated. He must have a very low IQ. You know, so don't waste your time, because all I'm going to think of you is you're dumb. Because if you can't make a valid point, then, or you just want to show support for the object of your affection, i.e. Verlis, then, you know, without making any validity to your comment, then, you know, of course I'm going to ignore you. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, I've already addressed the fact that I know what I stand for, and that no matter what you say, it won't, it pretty much won't change at the end of the day that I'm proving a point to that fact. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. Yeah, I suppose here's me. I'm actually waiting for a plumber to come to my house to fix my shower. But yeah, again, guys, I need to reference that at the end. I thank you guys for 200 subs immensely. And yeah, we'll probably get back to a regularly scheduled upload schedule tomorrow. With VGC Live, and obviously the new Battle Spot season is coming up soon. And I'll probably make a video regarding that too. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, I think I'm doing everything I need to say. So take care, guys, and thank you again for 200 subs.